a new character is coming to the Owl House, and they are, well, we don't know. That's what we're here to talk about. And hey, I know I'm late. I know I said this video was on the way Saturday, but I had to gush about Amphibia, play with my cat, and then wallow in my own despair. But to make it up to you guys, not only are we going to dive right into the juicy bits of the charity live stream, where we all kicked and raised a lot of money for democracy, but I think we could have a time frame on when to expect season 2 to premiere. And after we run through everything, I also have some recommendations for other shows to watch during this hiatus. Of course, spoiler warning, if you are not caught up with the Owl House or you don't want to know anything about season 2, this is your chance to dip. With all that said, let's dive in. So first things first, what was that I said about a season 2 release date? Well, take this with a grain of salt, as although this doesn't directly pertain to the Owl House, I would find it strange if the Owl House didn't return with the show. And I am referring to Amphibia, which recently had its season 2 midpoint finale. The show effectively going on hiatus with Big City Greens, although it has a Halloween special coming up. Creator of Amphibia, Matt Brawley, tweeted out, "A huge thank you to everyone who has been enjoying Amphibia Season 2. The second half should begin airing early next year, probably February or March. But we do have one more episode for this year, and that is our Halloween special, The Shut-In. It will air Saturday, October 17th. And although Amphibia is amazing and everyone should already be watching it anyways, and the story is now really kicking off into amazing directions, I'll let y'all in on how this ties back to the Owl House. As of this year, Disney Channel has switched their premieres back to weekly, which has been amazing and beneficial all around. However, in July, Big City Greens, Amphibia, and the Owl House began premiering episodes consecutively together on a weekly basis as one big Saturday night block. An amazing deal, and I don't think Disney wants this block to stop anytime soon. Especially because at Disney TVA, 20 episode seasons are basically the norm. So it makes sense they would want to premiere the big 3 Disney Channel cartoons, 10 episodes of the respective seasons, even if it's not 100% perfect, as in July the Owl House and Big City Greens returned with their mid-season premieres, whereas Amphibia returned with a season premiere. And in Amphibia's case, although television networks are known to put shows on hiatus during the holiday season, with a few exceptions here and there, a February premiere sounded a bit more distant than I think most people were expecting. But it quickly got me thinking, what if it's not going to return until February or March? Because it isn't necessarily about Amphibia's production, although I imagine the crew desperately needs the television break, considering Amphibia, and I imagine maybe all the currently airing Disney TVA shows, were finishing episodes just a week before they aired on television. That's insane. And of course, these tight deadlines were due to COVID-19 and the effects it's had on entertainment worldwide, so giving at least these 3 shows 4 to 5 months from airing on television, if not longer, sounds like a pretty fair trade-off for things to get somewhat back on track. I totally derailed off my original point. I think we may have this February or March return for Amphibia, because that's when we can also expect the Owl House and Big City Greens to return. That's my theory anyways. I could be completely off, but I know the press release of the Owl House being renewed for season 2 was last November, and usually those kind of announcements happen a little bit after the pickup, so I imagine the actual production for season 2 was underway back in, January, if not November? It takes about a year to fully produce an episode, so February, March sounds about right. Okay, spent way too much time on that. Let's dive into that season 2 brand new character. One of the incentives in the charity live stream, which all of the goals were met, was for Dana to draw half of a brand new season 2 character, to which Dana did indeed draw and color in half of a face. A mysterious witch with blonde hair, an undercut, chipped ear, fierce eyebrows, and piercing red eyes, accompanied with some bags under his eyes and a speech bubble that reads, "I'm tired." Now, it looks like everybody had the same idea, that this character could be none other than Belos' right-hand man, the servant who stands closest to him, and apparently a spy of sorts, as Belos assigned him to keep watch over the inhabitants of the Owl House. Why? Well, if you check out Dana's Reddit AMA, she alludes to a favorite character of hers that we've seen, but we still haven't seen and won't see until season 2. And she's actually been hyping up a favorite character who appears in season 2 since, I want to say, early this year. So pretty much since the beginning of the series. Dana also feels like someone who loves villains. So I imagine she would love her villains. And I don't know, even though we just got half a face, those red eyes kinda speak evil to me. Sorry, Itachi. But seriously, off the top of my head, I don't remember any humanoid witch character in the Owl House who has red eyes. And we've seen quite the assortment. So I feel as if these red eyes are supposed to stick out for a reason. Not only that, but I have frequently called out that the kind of magic that Belos has demonstrated thus far has been red. Red magic. It's something we haven't seen much of. So although I'm not sure if there's a direct correlation, considering Belos himself doesn't have red eyes, it's a linked trait worth noting nonetheless. Still, if this is the character Dana has been dying to show off to the world, it makes sense that would be the one to tease. I also think the exhausted look in his eyes, alongside remarking, "I'm tired," could also serve as another hint that this is indeed Belos' right-hand man. I mean, seriously, if you had to serve the Emperor at every and any moment, I think you would have quite a demanding job. And although this is not concrete evidence by any stretch of the imagination, I am still reminded of Belos' initially fatigued state when we meet him in Agony of a Witch. I actually really like the idea of this new character, and Belos' spy being one and the same, as it alludes to this character already having a strong personality, something that really sticks out and will be a fan favorite. Even if he's passive-aggressive and cynical, people will eat that up. I will eat that up. So I will be keeping my eye out for any future developments regarding this character. Another incentive worth noting from the stream was 2 lies and a truth pertaining to Season 2. 1, Gus has a growth spurt. 2, Hooty leaves the Owl House. 3, Camilla beats the crap out of someone. Now this is tough because, honestly, it could really be any of these. That's how wild the Owl House is. However, applying the process of elimination, Gus being a growth spurt could be something that happens, only for the curtain to be pulled back and we find out, oh, it was just illusion magic. So although this could be a truth in terms of us seeing it on screen, I think if it is illusion magic, it would ultimately render this a lie. Hooty leaving the Owl House. I honestly think this one is the most likely, simply because the end of Once Upon a Swamp teased a sequel episode. How do you raise the insanity from the first one? You swap with different characters. Who would be an insane character to include? Of course it would be Hooty. So I definitely think in a hypothetical sequel episode to the body swap, Hooty will swap with someone, whoever he swaps with will be stuck in the door of the Owl House for the day, and we'll give a 5 to 7 minute segment of Hooty insanity, parading around the Boiling Isles in, I don't know, Willow's body or something. I'm sure they'll choose a character completely out of left field. Hooty Amity? Hooty Edric? Oh my god, if this episode is real, give it to me now. Camilla beating the crap out of someone sounds like something they just threw in for shits and giggles. A blatant lie. But I would love for Luz's mother to actually play a bigger role in all of this. Maybe having her own magical past, even though I'm not sure how feasible that is. But with the mystery letter subplot, I would love for this to be something that we think is a lie, but is actually 100% the truth. Maybe even in a flashback. And before we go, I just want to gush about some shows real quick that, if you like the Owl House, maybe you'll also enjoy these other animated series. Starting off, the 2 other shows on the Disney TVA block, starting with Amphibia. If you're not watching Amphibia, what are you doing? What, scared that frogs are gonna make you cry? Because they will. They definitely will. Now, if you've seen the Owl House, I imagine you have a vague idea of Amphibia, so I'm not going to give you the basic rundown, but I'll throw out a few things that should entice you to watch. 1. Season 2 has been very continuity-driven and very serialized. Although you won't get all the burning answers right away, the characters still managed to make it incredibly engaging. Anna and the Planters have headed to Newtopia so they can figure out just what exactly is going on with this music box. Once they reach Newtopia, we get introduced to the best character of the show, Marcy, the 3rd and final member of the Earth Trio. She has a crossbow. There's a popular headcanon of her being neurodivergent, one that I partake in. We've actually learned what the Calamity Box is, and the Sonic the Hedgehog Legend of Zelda quest that it entails. Sasha, the member of the Earth Trio, now rival, and Grime, one of the big antagonists, had a clash with your other new favorite character, General Yunan, decided that they're going to declare war and plan to storm Newtopia themselves. All the while, we've had extremely emotional revelations about the characters. Other worlds are now coming into this. And all the while, a mysterious robot soldier is following the planners after Sprig unknowingly brought it to life in a robot factory. Yeah, shit is nuts, go peep. There's Big City Greens, which is just good episodic fun, although there's still a level of continuity with some very important episodes as of late. Why should you watch Big City Greens if it doesn't have a story? What's the point? Let me tell you. As someone who grew up in the 2000s and 2010s, Big City Greens feels like the next big step in what episodic cartoons can and should be. And although the show stands on its own, the references really do elevate it to another level. And it is a masterclass of comedy. Like this scene.
Kid, you know we're not actually superheroes, right? Oh, these are just costumes, dog. You knew that, right? For serious? My man out here thinking movies is real? Are you crying?
No, whatever.
Or for example, one episode sees Grandma, who is an insane driver, become a worker for what's pretty much Lyft, only for things to quickly spiral, and before she knows it, she's a getaway driver for Team Rocket. No, I am not kidding. And what's cool is that Grandma's Japanese voice actress is actually the voice actress for Meowth. Show is great. It takes tropes that we've seen before and completely spin them on their head. You think you know where an episode is going because I've seen episodes like these 1,000 times, and they completely throw a wrench in the formula. It's absolutely worth to watch. Then there's Infinity Train, a show I will continue to hype up until the end of time. Cartoon Network Studios' first ever anthology series. Every 10 episodes is its own book, every 10 episodes tells its own story with its own cast, although the cast can and typically does intersect with every book. The Infinity Train abducts random humans from Earth of any age, although we tend to focus on teenagers, and dumps them on a never-ending train in a mysterious wasteland, each train car being its own universe. Now, I could completely spoil the end of book 1, tell you what the numbers are all about, what's going on with the conductor, who are these kids, who's that guy, who's that girl, wow, that old lady sure is hot, but honestly, it's an easy binge. Each book is shorter than the shortest Marvel movie, and for those of you who know you can enjoy cartoons at any age, but you're still trying to get your friends to figure that out, I'll just tell you this. There's death, a lot of death, brutal death, death that sticks. In fact, maybe I'll spoil one right now. Go watch, please. Because it's on HBO Max in the United States, it actually does need official support to succeed. I mean, we should be officially supporting all these shows, but I really need to make it clear for Infinity Train. Harley Quinn. I'm just gonna say it. One of my favorite animated DC shows. One of my favorite adult animated series. I'm glad that it's growing in popularity and has a season 3 on the way. The Harley Quinn animated series is all about Harley trying to figure out who is she? Does she want to become the next big villain of Gotham? Is she capable of growing out of the Joker's shadow? And can she actually be with someone who truly loves her? Flaws and all. I mean, it was already a popular ship before the show. You guys already know that Harley and Ivy become a thing. And now that they are an established couple, and that the showrunner has affirmed that they won't be breaking up, they're together, no more BS. Season 3 will definitely take off. Guys, the show is absolutely hilarious but heartwarming. You'll crack up and then you think you may want to cry, but then you're just gonna laugh some more, so then you're laughing and crying. Truly marvelous. And because I'm running out of time, I'm just gonna reduce these two to honorable mentions, but Kipo and Hilda. Both these shows pop. Season 2 of Hilda's supposed to be dropping soon after a 2-year hiatus. I hope to see y'all pull up. But as always, these are just my thoughts and I want to hear yours. What do you think? Who do you think this new character could be? What are your thoughts on those 2 lies and the truth for season 2? And will you be peeping any of these shows? Pro tip, you should be watching all of them. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, or tweet your thoughts at Roundtable Vids. And for my thoughts, you can find me at OptricFox on both Twitter and Instagram. Special thanks to JANKYBONES for creating an amazing thumbnail. For more of their wonderful art, you can find them on Twitter and Instagram at BoneJanky, Tumblr at JANKYBONES, and subscribe to their YouTube channel. Link down below in the description. If you enjoyed this video, please throw it a like, and subscribe to the Roundtable for more great cartoon content. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have an awesome day. OptricFox, signing out.